Happy new month! May was a little bit of a roller coaster, but we got through quite a few games, so let's go over all the games I played in May. Now, throughout the month of May, we were doing a charity event for a children's charity, which means I had to keep most of my games as age appropriate as possible. So let's rapid fire through a bunch of the little indie horror games that I played. First up was Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion, which I had played a little bit of previously, but I'd never actually gotten to the end, and I was determined to do that this time. Now, this is a pretty simple, basic game at its premise, so it is getting a 5 out of 10 from me. Essentially, you just run through a bunch of randomly generated rooms until you hit room 1000. Sometimes there's some enemies chasing you, sometimes there's not, and that's about all there is to it. So it's fun, it's a nice little time killer, but it's just very basic, and there's not a whole lot there. Next, though, we did the HD renovation version of the game, which I do think is definitely better than the original and is the version most people should play, so this one is getting a 6 out of 10. Keeps the same simple premise, however, I feel like they updated some things I can't be too sure on, but it feels like the sprint was a little bit faster and just stamina ran out a little bit slower. They also updated the hitboxes of some enemies, and of course it just looks better as well. But one of the things I really like about this one is that in the original there are multiple endings, but you have to do certain hidden things throughout the levels, where in this one, you can just straight up play the additional episodes from the title menu, like chapter select, which I think is great. So I was able to go in this one and play the additional episodes as well. Next, we jumped on some anomaly spotting games with the I'm on Observation Duty series. Now, I have played the first game of this originally and finished it, so we didn't play it this month, but I did play 2 for the first time. The Observation Duty games are a lot of fun. I would argue they sort of kickstarted the anomaly spotting horror genre. This guy is a 6 out of 10. The 2 different levels on it were really fun. I like that one of them was more like retro graphics. It honestly made it a little bit harder. You would think that having less detail in the picture makes it easier to spot differences, but in reality, it does not. So I like that. It was a nice spin off the first one. I enjoyed it. Next, we played I'm on Observation Duty 3, and this one I think is my favorite of the 3 so far, actually. It is a 7 out of 10 because this one is different. Rather than just sitting at like security cameras and flicking through camera feeds, this one is actually real-time, first person. You physically move around the house in first person, watch anomalies happen in real time, and then report them with your phone camera. There's even certain anomalies like the ghost that you can only see through your phone camera. You can't see when you're looking at them. And I think that is so creative and a nice shake up from what the rest of the games are. The second level in this as well was actually really, really hard. Like, it took a good couple tries to finish. Our main horror game for the month is a little guy called Cursed Mountain, which is a pretty obscure horror game, I would say. Not a lot of people know about it. It is actually a Wii exclusive horror game, and whilst that is cool, it is its downfall. 6 out of 10 for Cursed Mountain. Now, the gameplay itself, I really like. Classic survival horror exploration. It's great. The story on it is pretty fun and interesting as well. I liked the game, but motion controls. You don't need them to move around the environment, thank God, but they are combat related. And honestly, for the first half of the game, it was fine. It was working really well. Something about the second half of the game, the motion controls started to be very unresponsive, and I legitimately, my arms were so sore for days after playing this from having to so violently swing my little nunchuck. So had it not had motion controls, would have probably been better, but the fact that it is a Wii exclusive horror game I think is just so cool. And for our Nintendo Friday game in May, we finished Bayonetta 2, which is now the final game of the Bayonetta trilogy that we had to play, and I gotta say, I think it is my favorite. Bayonetta 2 is a 9 out of 10. Much better than the first game. They got rid of a lot of the difficult platforming sections, and it's just so much easier to control as well. The story was also a lot easier to follow along. I was actually able to go along with the plot this time, and I really liked it. The game as a whole, fantastic. Definitely my favorite out of the trilogy. I very much enjoyed it. Points docked for the short hair, just because, I don't know, I don't think it suits her. I'm used to the long hair. But there we go. That is all the games we played in May. June, I have quite a few cool games lined up. We're playing the brand new Directive 8020 Dark Pictures game, as well as a few retro horror games as well, so stay tuned for that.